Greetings and welcome to Psychology 1 Online. I'm your instructor Norm Reese, and I'm going to take you on a little short tour of the course. The first thing we want to take a look at is these two bars right here. This bar on the far left is the global navigation bar. Next to it is the course navigation bar. The global bar is appropriate for all of your courses. The course navigation bar applies just to the course you're in this case, Psych 1. So let's take a look at the global course navigation bar. First, the calendar is just like a regular wall calendar. It can be color-coded. All of your courses can be on here. In this case, we have what is due and what is available. Everything due in this class is going to have a 1 week period or a 6 week period between the time it's available and the time it's due. So for the first week, starting in 26, we have discussion 1 is available and the syllabus and orientation quiz is available. Nothing is due in that week. The weeks in this class start at Monday at 12 a.m. or 7 a.m. for the first day, and the following Sunday at 11:59. So we saw right here syllabus and orientation quizzes available. If we move on to September, we see that the syllabus and orientation quiz is due the Monday after that week. That breaks from the usual pattern. So you have exactly 1 week to do that. If you don't get that done, you're in danger of being dropped from the course. That's the only thing that's due that week, and it's taken as a measure of your attendance. So quiz 1 is available, so the following Sunday it's due. Quiz 2 is available on a Monday, the following Sunday it's due, and on and on and on. So if we continue further on, we would see multitasking essay discussion. All of our discussions, both of them I should say, are a combination of essay and discussion. So you write an essay and you comment on 2 of your fellow students' essays. That's pretty much it. You'll find a couple odds and ends in there, due dates from the school, but that's it. This is, if you like the wall type calendar, this is a good thing for that purpose. So then we want to go to help. There's a couple things to point out here. Canvas Guides is very good. They have videos that show you how to, particularly if you're not familiar with Canvas, this is a good place to get familiar with Canvas. If you get a problem that you can't solve with one of the guides, call the Canvas support hotline for students. It's very good. The individuals are excellent. 24/7 service, and typically they'll get to you in 30 seconds and solve your problem. Let's take a look at the course navigation bar. This is the home page. The first thing you should look at on the home page is the first announcement. All announcements will first appear right above the course name. If you click on it, it'll expand and send you that message. If you want to read the whole list of announcements, click on announcements over here in the navigation bar, and that will show you the whole list, which will be there throughout the semester. By default, you should be getting those sent to your email, and you can change that if you want, but I would definitely leave that because you can lose points if you don't get all of the messages that are in the announcements. Okay, the syllabus takes you to the syllabus page. There's an icon right here. If you click, we'll show you the entire syllabus, but it has everything you could ever want to know about the course in there. Below that is a schedule of assignments when they're due in the class. So that's one of, I think, 4 places you can find those. You're going to spend the most amount of time in this class in the modules. Here's what the modules look like. There's introduction and orientation, week 1. And after that, all the weeks are for the individual chapters, and lastly, the finals week. So each week has its own module. You should start with those, and everything you want to do in the class is somehow probably involved in these and found in these modules. Typically, you'll start with the home page and come down to the bottom and access your modules from here, either by chapter or the week or the date, whatever you want. Start here is wherever you click puts that module at the top of the page. What you're looking at right now is part of this week 1 introduction and orientation, and you're looking at this video right here. What you're going to be doing in here is mainly taking a syllabus and orientation quiz, which tells me that you know what you need to know to proceed in the class. And those 3 things are knowledge of plagiarism and how to avoid it. And you do that by clicking on avoiding plagiarism right here. That's a 3-page document that you click on this icon to get to. And then reading the academic honesty policy. Reading those 2 things will get you up to speed on that topic. You can read the condensed syllabus by clicking right here. That is a copy of the syllabus in which everything that's not involved in this quiz has been removed. So it's a very short version of the syllabus. The third thing you need to learn about is the requirements for this class, particularly writing. If you need to bone up on writing, if you click this down at the bottom of this page, writing tools and tutorials, this is also accessible from the home page. This will give you tutorials, little short video tutorials on how to cite and reference sources that you use for your essays. For each essay, you need to provide 2 sources, and you need to cite and reference them. If you don't know how to do that, click on this link right here, and that will tell you how to do that. That will also send you to a part of the syllabus dealing with writing requirements for this class. There will also be a video on this same page on posting to the discussions for this class. When you've taken the syllabus orientation quiz and you need to score 100% correct in order to stop taking it, you can take it as many times as you want. It'll give you the incorrect answers so that you can, or the correct answers so that you can learn from your mistakes if you need to. A lot of students immediately score 100%. You can't go any further in the course. You can't take any more quizzes until you get 100% on this syllabus and orientation quiz. As with all of the items in the modules, down at the bottom you can click next. It'll take you to the next item on that module's list. In this case, it's what's due this week for week 1. And in all of cases, it is one of the places you can look to find out when things are due. You have the calendar over here, you have the syllabus, and the list below the syllabus, and this. All tell you exactly when everything is due. They should all jive. Please let me know if one of those lists conflicts with the information on another. Okay, if we click next, we go to the syllabus orientation quiz. You've already taken that at this point. Study quiz, or study guide for the quiz, in this case quiz number 1. Long story short, you're going to have 2 types of information. You're going to have definitions or short answer, and they'll be labeled if they are. Those are all you need is the definition. If it doesn't say that, then you need to read everything on that term. Sometimes it'll involve 4 or 5 pages worth of stuff. This is your best bet to doing well on the quizzes. If it's not on this list, it won't be on the quiz. If it is on the list, you have a like 90 to 95% chance it'll be on the quiz. So you can, if you have to, bypass some of the reading, although I recommend that you read it all if you can. You'll always stand a better chance on the test if you read the entire chapter. I understand that that's not always possible. So if we go to next, again, the introduction module. So let's take a look at a typical chapter module. For that, we're going to need to leave the student view. Here's a typical chapter module, Norm's notes for chapter 1. This takes the place of my lectures. This contains information I think is interesting, missing from the text, needing further information, that sort of thing. So we're going to have in here, we're going to find quite a few videos, occasionally a brain teaser of sorts, like we got at the bottom of this one, involved in critical thinking. There's typically 1 or 2 items from Norm's notes that are going to end up in the quizzes. So you're going to need to read this and watch the videos. There are even some questions that are taken from the videos. There are also some bonus questions in here where you'll have a question that comes from the text or a video, and then if you send me the answer, the correct answer, in a Canvas message, you will get 1 bonus point for doing so. So we go down to the bottom of that. What's due this week? Again, we've got all the stuff that's due. A nice tidy package. Study guide again for that quiz. You'll also find in every case at the end of a module, you'll find a study guide for the next week. You won't find anything else for the next week until the next week gets there, but the study guide will be there if you get everything done early on that first week. You can at least know what to study for the next week. Now this is the quiz. All quizzes are 25 questions. You get 1 question per minute. So you have 25 minutes to take the test. If you don't get quiz if you don't get the quiz done in the time frame allowed, the 1 week, you miss out on 2 bonus points, or what we call on-time points, for that quiz. The same thing is true for the discussions. You'll miss out on 3.5 points if you get the essay part of the discussions late, if you turn it in late. So you can look at those as rewards or punishment. Both are probably accurate. This is a discussion. We're going to cover that in the video on how to contribute to the discussions. It'll explain everything you need to know, and there's quite a bit there. So I definitely think you should watch that video. NetTutor, if you want some tutoring free online, you don't have to go anywhere to get it. This is a good place to go. Click on that. It's self-explanatory. From there, you can submit documents like the essay for this class, and somebody will take a look at it and offer you suggestions on how to make it better. I still haven't had a student tell me about these, and I'd like to hear from you if you experience in one of them. But I've heard from other instructors that they're pretty good. The grades, the student view, to take a look at the grades. One thing you need to know about the grades, here's all the grades. So you got your score out of how many. You can print them, you can do a what if, and there are tutorials on how to do all of this. One thing I want to point out here, if this little box here is check marked, it calculates your grade based only on the stuff that you've turned in and has been graded. If you turn in the quizzes, they're automatically graded. If you turn in the discussions, I have to grade them myself, so they won't necessarily be graded. So what this amounts to is giving you a grade to date on what you've done. It doesn't count the stuff that you're late on, that you haven't turned in. If you want that to be considered in the grade, to know how you're really doing, including what you haven't done, what you're late on, uncheck this box and that'll tell you. So if you haven't turned in half the stuff, you may have a B going in the class on what you've turned in and it's been graded, but you may have an actual F in the course if you haven't done half of the stuff yet. And that could always be done later, but it's valuable to know what both of those look like. I don't think I covered this little guy right here. If you're new to Canvas, you're going to be wanting access to this navigation bar right here all the time, or a lot of the time. Sometimes if you want to save some territory here, you can get rid of that by clicking on this. Clicking on it again will bring it back, but a lot of times it manages to find itself going away, and unless you remember this little icon here, you'll be real puzzled by why it's gone. Well, just click on that and it comes back. So I'm sure that there is stuff that you're gonna have questions on. Feel free anytime to send me a message right here in the inbox for Canvas, or give me a call if it's important. I'll be happy to answer your questions. That's pretty much it. We'll see you in class.